So, I've been having a bit of a rough patch. Not only with the depression and anxiety, but I've also had a run-in with a little bit of a bug. I mean, like, illness. So I spent a lot of today just recovering. And with that, I've spent a lot of time in my head. And just thinking over a lot. Over the people that I have had in my life, including relationships that had made me question whether or not I was actually worth anything. That made me question whether or not someone would ever love me, or someone would made me question if I was doing that I was doing stuff wrong my entire life. And it's like 8 p.m. I barely slept last night and spent all day just lying in bed. I've only had enough energy to do much now, thanks to the illness, and it brought up a good thing for me to talk about, just in general, because it's not very well. It's an area where a lot of people don't like to really talk about. And that's discrimination and hate against transgenders. At this point, everyone on the channel is aware of my family situation. That's not really what I'm talking about here. I have been one of the lucky few that hasn't gotten discriminated against, that hasn't gotten harassed or assaulted yet. And I have to stress yet, because right now I walk home late at night, and by late I mean like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and being in Canada, we don't really have a lot in place for self-defense. I don't know any martial arts or nothing, and stuff like pepper spray, tasers are legal here. I know Canada is a lot better than many other places, especially in the United States right now, and Brazil. But that doesn't mean things still don't happen up here. And I recently saw a video actually posted by, or shared by, the Vancouver Police Department, which they're showing everyone to help dealings with trans people. And I'll try and remember to leave a link in the description below. But it's I have a lot of anxiety just doing some basic things. Because I'm trans. I get anxious going outside. I get anxious coming home. And there's a lot of days where I don't want to do anything. I don't want to get out of bed. And a lot of that isn't really recognized. So I've gotten over how bad my dysphoria gets. Like, to the point of self-harming. It's not an easy road. For sure. But what I have kind of laid out, especially for myself, is I would rather die being who I am than live being someone I'm not. I should make an example of a video. I should make a video just showing what this disassociation is like sometimes. There's a lot of times where I can barely talk to friends, I can barely talk to people. I made a video a couple days ago, or was it last week or something, kind of explaining the level of social isolation. I actually did get to see the only friend that I have here. Last night, actually. It was a good night. And for once in my life, I was able to hold conversation with people. Just like some normal conversation. Which is, it sounds stupid, but it is actually a big deal for me. because I don't get out much, and when I do, even going somewhere like Davie Street in Vancouver, that's literally like the the gay street. It's hard to feel safe because you get a lot of people that give you looks that I'm pretty sure if I was paying more attention, they'd probably comment. If I actually passed a little bit better, they'd probably make a lot more comments. Like, Facebook. I'm getting to the point where I passed on Facebook now. Like, okay, pass is a term for when I actually present female and fully look female. I've gotten unsolicited attempts for me to get together with someone. And this is just coming from a lot of people that judge just based off of appearances. And some of them don't take no until I bring up the transition. Like, if I were ever to go into a club, it would probably be one on Davie Street because I wouldn't feel safe otherwise. I keep things. Where is it? I keep this thing on me. It's a sound grenade. Like, you pull the pin and it makes a very loud sound. It's pretty much the only thing that I have that gives me some ounce of security for my person. And walking home, a lot of times, I've just stopped in my tracks because I don't feel safe outside. I don't feel safe inside. If someone asked if I could tell them a safe spot where I could be myself, I would not be able to do that. The closest thing that I have would be online, and as far as most people would consider, and as far as most therapists would consider, that's not good enough. It's why I'm in the communities that I am, because in that circle you get the more accepting people, and especially being kin, you find a lot more people willing to overlook gender. Even though I've actually explained the differences to my current mate, he's still insistent that it doesn't matter, and he doesn't care, and that I'm pretty. If we have more people like that, perhaps this relatively small community of trans would actually be able to feel a little more safe, not only within their homes, but just within their communities. I took a lot of pauses in this, but it's still gone on long enough. For now, I'll just shut my beak.